your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Hello and welcome in. Hello and welcome in to another edition of the Cam Show here on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke is behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week. Live on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts as well. And we are in San Francisco. You might not be able to tell because I'm in a hotel room, okay? My pass doesn't kick in until tomorrow. All right, we'll be at Radio Row. We will be amongst the movers and the shakers out here in Super Bowl 60. But for right now, you catch me in what is sounding like a pretty echoey hotel room, if we're being honest. It's the only, I can't tell you the last hotel I went to that's got hardwood floors in the room. But hey, that's where we are. It's actually pretty fine other than that part. They didn't know that the podcasters were coming. The radio people were coming, and we are here talking Super Bowl 60. I'm going to talk about why there's this cloud over this Patriots team from some of the media here in Boston, let alone the people out here in San Francisco. We're going to talk with Kole Musgrove of Seahawks Wire as well to break down everything and preview everything from the Seahawks side of things, why Seattle is so confident they are about to take home their second Lombardi trophy. All that and more coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. But we start where we start. Look, we're here. I'm in San Francisco, and there is this air of superiority for the Seahawks people in town, the fans, the media that have all assembled here in San Francisco. And I'm not going to knock them for it. On paper, they're a better team, right? Of course, they're going to be confident. And I want to get more to that in a minute. What's really surprising me about being here in San Francisco is not the Seahawks fans and Seahawks people being confident. But what did surprise me on day one of Super Bowl week is some of the Boston media trying so hard to have something to not like about this Patriots team. They're 17-3 after winning 4 games in back-to-back seasons. They've got the franchise quarterback, young franchise quarterback. They probably have the franchise left tackle. They've got the franchise corner. They've got the new coach. And they're in the freaking Super Bowl, man. Nobody gave them a shot to even be in the Super Bowl. And yet, the number one morning sports talk show in Boston is just trying to grasp at anything to be like, this is weird. Why are they doing this? It's from Toucher and Hardy on 98.5. They had Mike Reese on, who's one of the best in the business and also one of the nicest people on the planet Earth. But apparently the little send-off rally that the Patriots had did not sit well with the number one morning show in Boston.
Did you think it was odd, and you can be honest, that they had a rally before they got on the plane that was that celebratory?
No, I'm pretty sure that.
First off, like what does that mean? A rally that is too celebratory. You know, they're sending the team off to the Super Bowl. And you guys know this. Reese is about to say it in a second. This has happened a bunch. It happens every time they go. But like, what do you mean it's too celebratory? Actually, I'll let them explain.
That's been commonplace, right, Fred? And I'm always honest with you. I think they've always done that.
They did it with Tom Brady when they had been to multiple conference championships and they were, picked to win the Super Bowl from the start of the season.
Okay. I'll hear you out here. It's
a slightly different vibe for a team that, has not only been playing with house money, but,
So a team that wasn't supposed to be here is not supposed to be celebratory. They're not supposed to have fun with it. When Brady's teams went and they had a good chance of winning the next game and having a Super Bowl parade, that is when you get celebratory. That's when you do a send-off. But when you're the underdog and you've been bad the last 2 seasons, you're not supposed to celebrate it. Okay, I'm just trying to make this clear. But I think Hardy is about to have a great point here. I can just feel it coming.
That's why they were celebratory.
But again, like, do you want to be celebrating this much when, I guess maybe having an attitude of a little more humility may have served them a little bit better. I don't know.
First off, why? They haven't played the game yet. You could say that and, spike the football if they lose 44-10. But why now is that? Why would humility serve them better? Sorry, I hate to keep interrupting.
No, it rubbed Fred the wrong way. And the more I listened to it, I'm like, yeah, they do seem to be pretty high on themselves for a team that no one expected to be there.
Mike, it's not that they had the event. It's just like basically just Vrabel's tone and like the whole like warrior, like he's like having fun and stuff. And it's, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. It just seems
I guess there's nothing
like
wrong
you
with
still
it.
have work to do. And
I guess there's nothing wrong with it. But damn, that tone. Boy, that tone stunk. It's not what you said. It's the way you said it. God forbid the Patriots have some fun being back in the Super Bowl. And, thousands of fans are braving the single-digit temperatures in Foxborough on a Sunday morning to send them off. Like, do you hear that, man? That's why we do this show, by the way. For whomever listens, right? Like, that is the number one sports talk morning show in Boston. And we know the number one sports talk show in Boston, how gung-ho they are about the Patriots, right? That, on Felger and Maz last week, they tell you how much of a homer you are for years and years and years. And then when the Patriots go back to the Super Bowl, they're like, oh, what happened to the cocky Patriots fans? And the guys in the morning who are not Patriots fans, which is fine. You could be that. It's tough to be that in this town, at least in my day. But now they're going off about, it's too happy. It's too celebratory. You just can't win. He doesn't like Mike Vrabel's tone. What does that mean? Like, what are we talking about here? This was a tough thing to explain to my fiance, who is not from Boston and is not a very big sports fan. And we were listening to one of the Patriots games while we were in the car, and she thought it was so funny that Zoe, talks over Sochi all the time and is clearly a homer, and like she thinks it's hilarious. And then she's like, well, of course the Boston radio people want the Patriots to win. And I'm like, oh, no. You would think that, or maybe you would think they're just being neutral. No, like they don't want the Patriots to have fun. It's better for them when the Patriots are not good or get here and fail. It is better for them. And that is evidenced by the most harmless thing, man. They did a rally. Like every team does that. The Patriots have done it forever. And by the way, I know it's been a couple years, but the Patriots in recent memory made the Super Bowl a lot. So spare me like you don't remember that they used to do this. And they're sitting here saying, well, when you're the underdog, you shouldn't be happy that you're there. The Patriots teams with Brady that were at least within one win of the Super Bowl 8 straight years, those are the teams that should be celebrating before they win the Super Bowl. See, I'm not getting this. I'm not understanding it. I just didn't think I'm naive. Like, I just didn't think I'd be getting that from Boston Sports Talk Radio. I expected, the Drake May taking a dip, and the Seahawks defense is unbeatable, and this team isn't even supposed to be here. I expected all of that, but I was not expecting a critique of their send-off rally because it's too positive, because Mike Vrabel's tone. That's where you lose me. You lose me there. But I will, to bring it back to San Francisco, man, in the airport, around everything going on around the Super Bowl, man, there's a lot of Seahawks people. And there is this air, not just with the Seahawks fans and everyone, but all the media that's here. There is this unfamiliar air for the Patriots and their fans. Nobody expects the Patriots to win this game. Nobody. And like the shine of the fact that they're this great Cinderella story and are in the Super Bowl after sucking for 2 straight years, that's worn off. All the talk around here is about how they don't stand a chance against the Seahawks. Don't stand a chance. Not going to be able to run the ball on them. Drake May's arms fried. Nobody scores on the Seahawks defense. Sam Darnold just played the game of his life. Nobody is giving the Patriots a chance here. And I'm not going to sit here and say they should be favored to win. They shouldn't be if we're basing it on the roster here. But what I find fascinating is these two teams have had very similar roads. Very similar. The Seahawks were not as bad as the Patriots last year. although it took overtime to beat the Patriots last year. But they were what? I think they were 7-10 or 6-11. Moved on from Geno Smith, brought in a new head coach. The Patriots bring in a new coach. They're coming off back-to-back 4-13s. They both get easy schedules because of that, because that's how the NFL works. But it is funny. We only hear that about the Patriots, not about the Seahawks. They both lost games early in the season that they should not have lost. They both knocked off teams in their division that were heavy favorites to win their division. In fact, the Seahawks were probably third betting favorites to win the NFC West. The Patriots were probably third favorites to win the AFC East. But nobody thought that it wasn't going to be Buffalo or the Rams. Nobody thought that. And yet it was the Patriots and the Seahawks. And now they get to the Super Bowl, and boy, what a mismatch this is. Because again, it's not that the Patriots defense is good. That can't be admitted. It's because the other teams are bad. That's why. But anyway, I just wanted to set the scene for you. That's what it's like here in San Francisco. And we're going to talk next with the Seahawks wire, Kole Musgrove. He is going to break it down, preview it all from Seattle side of things. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. So liking the channel, liking the video, subscribing to the channel helps us out a lot. It is the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart, your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. When we come back, as promised, we will have Kole Musgrove of Seahawks Wire. I told him about what I said about the story of Brock Heward and the Patriots getting slimy. So we'll ask him about that. And then we're going to ask him about the on-the-field stuff with the Seahawks team, where their biggest advantages are, where they might be vulnerable. Are people wrong about Sam Darnold? That's coming up next on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Welcome back. Wicked Boston Show here on Rogue Media Sports Network. Cam Stewart, Zach Burke is behind the glass, keeping us on the air. Live on YouTube every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. From the hotel in San Francisco. We'll be at the Moscone Center. We'll be doing some work at the Moscone Center where Radio Row is, but that doesn't kick in until tomorrow. So you got me in the San Francisco hotel room for today. Of course, it is Super Bowl week, and it arrives with a literal earthquake in San Francisco. Monday morning, 4.3. You could feel that one. Okay, it's not crazy, but you could feel a 4.3 pretty good. We are talking Patriots and Seahawks, and the Patriots, of course, heavy underdogs in the Super Bowl. I can't remember the last time we said that because I was just a wee lad the last time that happened. So we got to look at it from the favorites side of things. So it is my pleasure to bring in Kole Musgrove of USA Today, Seahawks Wire, Emerald City Podcast. Kole, great to have you on today. Want to get more from the Seahawks perspective in terms of the on-the-field stuff. But I do got to start with what I talked about on the show on Monday. And I referenced your article directly. So I would love, real quick, before we get into the football, do you think the Kraft family has underhandedly thrown a distraction at the Seahawks with this whole news that the team is up for sale?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be coming from the Seahawks side of things. There's no way, even if that was their plan, which I definitely don't think it was their plan to, after the Super Bowl, hey, team's up for sale, come on in. Selling a multi-billion-dollar corporation, that's basically what all NFL teams are at this point. Selling an organization like this isn't like selling your truck on Facebook Marketplace. This is something that takes months, if not years, to take place. I mean, it's going to take tens of millions of dollars just for a prospective buyer to even look at the books to see if this is something that even is financially viable for them to do, or even worth their time and effort. So it wouldn't become from the Seahawks. That only leaves one option, potentially the Patriots. I'm not saying it was them. I certainly think that if there was any culprit, it would be the organization that has a history of unorthodox, let's just be charitable, unorthodox win at all costs. To their credit, that is their mantra, that is what they do. But I think, okay, tinfoil hat aside, I think this might be something more from just the league itself. Jody Allen, she has been the trustee of the Paul G. Allen Trust. Paul Allen purchased the team in the late 90s. He is the wonderful, benevolent owner of the team for years and years, passes away tragically in 2018, leaves his entire estate to his sister with the mandate that all of his assets are to be sold for charity. But there's no time limit. There's no time limit for Jody Allen to sell it, and she's been certainly taking her sweet time. Now, there was a point where she kept the team past a certain tax deadline in the state of Washington, where if the Seahawks are sold before, I believe, 2024, 10% of the sale has to go to the state. We moved past that point, and she certainly is having no signs of wanting to sell the team. So this might be a situation where, okay, it's fun to always poke fun at the Patriots. It's, they're the sneaky, shady, underhanded, whatever. This might be a situation where the entire league is in on it because they just fined her $5 million, the Seahawks organization, $5 million for non-compliance for owners. So that tells me the Seahawks aren't looking to sell right after the Super Bowl. This might be the league's way of saying, hey, pick it up, because all 30 other owners want the Seahawks to sell for $8 billion because that means all their products just go up in value. So if I had to, with that information coming out today, that kind of changes, the conspiracy theory of it all. So that's kind of where I've landed on here as
I just didn't understand, really, and this is from all Seattle. It's not just Kole Musgrove throwing on the tinfoil hat, but I just don't see how it's like a distraction enough to keep them away from winning the Super Bowl. To me, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I know this comes after, but the OC taking a head coaching job days before the Super Bowl to me is a bigger distraction than the players being on a 4th and 3, oh no, the team's going to be sold. Their checks are going to cash. So that's what I was like. I'm just not seeing the distraction.
Well, I if we're following this trail of logic, if you want to call it that, I could see it being, hey, we want to just kind of discombobulate the team inside because maybe we think that the players will then be, oh gosh, I'm a free agent. Will I be able to sign? Will there be money for me to get my contract here, or am I going to have to go elsewhere? Just something to kind of just stir up distrust, just something to maybe take your mind off practice for a play or two at a time. I don't know. That theory is starting to kind of fall apart a little bit. And to Seth Wickersham's credit, I directly called him out, not calling him out, but just saying, hey, he wrote a book about the Patriots. This guy has connections in New England. right? It's not the most unfathomable thing to think that there may be some in the Patriots organization who see him as an avenue to, if this was their plot, use him to get it out there. And he responded directly, like, nope, I didn't speak to anybody in the Patriots organization. So I have to put that out there for the record.
And like I follow that, and I read that book. You know, I get that, and he's had
Great
ties
book.
to the Patriots for years. It's okay. All right.
From an outsider.
No, I get it. People loved it. And I totally understand why. The thing with Wickersham that I would push back on was that, you know, he also broke the story that Belichick did get in the first ballots, the Hall of Fame. He and Don Van Natta broke that story.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like, okay, you got to find at least 11 people from around the league that nailed on did not vote for Bill Belichick. So that just tells me that he's got connections everywhere at this point.
Yeah, and he is ESPN's lead investigative journalist. And every time the Seth Wickersham article drops, it's like, oh boy, who's in trouble this time?
What's the bomb here? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, you know, I said I think this might be more of a NFL's trying to not so subtly pressure Jody Allen, pick up your feet. This isn't yours to keep forever.
And this is the kind of crap that comes in before the Super Bowl. You know this. Like, you know, the week before the Super Bowl, we get some storylines coming. It's going to be weird. It's going to be talkable. And that was certainly one. Let's talk some football, okay?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. We've got Kole Musgrove of USA Today, Seahawks Wire, Emerald City Podcast here. Let's talk about Patriots Seahawks. And the first thing that has come to my mind in Super Bowl week, which I don't want to say it's not been talked about, but it seems like a foregone conclusion on one way. I just want to ask you this, because I know a lot of Patriots fans are still thinking of Jets Sam Darnold rather than NFC Championship game Sam Darnold. So is everyone wrong about Sam Darnold going into this Super Bowl?
This is a situation where in the NFL, once you get that initial narrative about you, and I guess with life, you know, they always say first impressions are the ones that last the most. Once you get that initial narrative, it's really hard to shake. And quite frankly, he was abysmal with the Jets, which at this point, I mean, that's where the Jets and the Patriots, it was a Patriots game where the I'm seeing ghosts thing came from, right? And it's really hard to shake that. Now, in fairness to Sam, I think at this point, flaming out with the Jets at this point is a badge of honor, because who hasn't at this point?
Yeah, just happens.
It's a pit. Yeah. I'd rather go to Cleveland if I was an NFL player. Sam, you know, bounces around the league. He flames out in New York, goes to Carolina, pretty uneven there, loses the job, wins it back, but then he goes to San Francisco to become a backup. He turns down other potential starting jobs, and he goes to Kyle Shanahan, like, no, I want to learn truly from a master offensive coach what it takes to be a quarterback in this league. Spends a year in San Francisco learning, actually imparting wisdom on Brock Purdy along the way too. Goes to Minnesota, has the career revival season. And of course, everyone thinks, oh, was this legit? Or was this just, you know, the perfect environment? You're playing in a dome for 10 games. You have Justin Jefferson. You have an offensive coach. And it turns out, no, this Sam Darnold, what we saw in 2024, we saw him again this year. This is what he is. He has changed. He is no longer that seeing ghosts Jets quarterback. I mean, I think Bleacher Report after the NFC Championship had a weird graphic of him in a Ghostbusters uniform. In one of those bizarre fever dream graphics that they just churn out. Yeah. So, and Sam Darnold has just been narrative busting this whole season. You know, oh, you can't go on the road and win a division game against your rival, win the NFC. Okay, well, he did that to get the number 1 seed. Oh, well, wait till he gets to the playoffs. Well, he wins the playoff game and he doesn't do anything. Like, just disastrous. Oh, well, he can't beat the Rams again. Well, he's beat the Rams twice in the last 5 games the Seahawks have played. And he's played outstanding ever since that fourth quarter onwards. So I think we're in a situation where Sam Darnold has arrived. This is the Sam Darnold that was promised to the world when he was the number 3 overall pick back in 2018.
And the Kyle Shanahan thing, I'm just thinking, man, that means Mac Jones is going to be in the Super Bowl in a couple of years. What a show that'll be.
You could argue Mac Jones was the better quarterback than the Niners had this year.
You could. I'm not going to stop you. But looking at Darnold, you know, and I think that's what still some Patriots fans need to realize, and the way he played against the Rams, obviously, I mean, game of his life. It was incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
And now he's the odds-on favorite to win Super Bowl MVP. I do want to ask this though. There's all this talk about Drake May, not 100% healthy, hasn't been as sharp in the playoffs, kind of waiting for an implosion from this young kid. Is there still a chance that we see an implosion from Sam Darnold? I mean, we are talking about a guy who led the league in turnovers this year.
Absolutely. I mean, there's certainly the possibility anything can happen. But ever since that 4-interception meltdown against the Rams all the way back in week 11, which the Seahawks have not lost since, Sam has not been that bad or even close to that bad. The Seahawks have also transitioned from a team where last year and then even to the beginning of this year, they were a team that they were good, but they were young, they're learning, they just weren't a team that could overcome self-inflicted wounds. That Buccaneers game, they had multiple turnovers, multiple bad fumbles, an interception from Darnold at the end of the game. Over the course of the season, especially since that Rams game, they've transitioned to a team where, yeah, we can overcome those. Sam throws interceptions, fumbles the ball, we'll just get it right back. DeMarcus Lawrence will force another fumble. Nicky Manwari will just blow somebody up. They've transitioned to that situation where they can, all Sam Darnold needs to be is just not a complete active hindrance to this offense. And not for nothing, again, I'm a Drake May fan. I think he is incredible. I think this guy is going to be, if he's not already, just a legitimate star for years and years to come in this league. How these two have played, if you switch the nameplates and the stats, Drake May is playing this postseason the way folks would assume the narrative would say about Sam Darnold. Oh, carried by a great, outstanding defense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of the things that I think kind of makes these teams pretty similar. I would not argue that Seattle has the better roster. I think that's true. But the way these seasons have gone, both teams coming off losing seasons. The Patriots at 4 wins was even worse, right? And the kind of ones that slipped away early on in the season. Where do you see similarities between this Patriots team and this Seahawks team?
Well, both teams clearly have the identity of they want to run the ball, and both teams are great at running the ball. As someone who had Travion Henderson as on my fantasy team this year, I was eternally frustrated that Ramondre Stevenson kept getting carries, but it's hard to argue with the results other than just some fumble issues at the beginning of the season. So both teams can run the ball. Both teams are clearly defensive minded. I mean, that's just the basic one right there. The first time since, the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl that you've had 2 defensive minded head coaches. So almost a full decade since this has happened. You got Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald, the Mike Bowl. The Mike Bowl after they beat
Mikes.
Yeah, the Mikes after they beat 2 Seans in the conference championship round. So certainly 2 opportunistic defenses, 2 physical defenses. This is not a situation where I think it's going to be a 43-8 kind of Super Bowl for Seattle. Seattle's favored, and that seems to kind of be the national consensus. I'm not going into this with any delusion of, how can the Patriots win? Well, yeah, they could absolutely win this game. You're in the Super Bowl, you can win the Super Bowl. I don't really care if the Jets were in the Super Bowl, I could, maybe not them, but you get my point.
Dream theory. Yeah.
Well, if this was the late 60s where Joe Namath
or
was telling us, or Madden.
Yeah.
Joe Namath sells his soul again, who knows?
Yeah. They might never get back. And looking at this, again, you see the similarities in these teams. Neither team was supposed to be here. But obviously by the time the playoff picture came around, I wouldn't call it a stunner that the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl after grabbing the number 1 seed in a very tough division in the NFC West. So when did that moment hit for you and for Seahawks fans? Like, what point during the season were you guys like, this team could be Super Bowl material? Like, we're talking that good.
I really do think it was pretty late in the season, that Thursday night win over the Rams. Now, after that week 11 game where the Seahawks had 4 interceptions, could barely score in the red zone, the consensus, at least here in the Pacific Northwest, was, oh man, we just played the worst possible game and we still almost won. We had that kind of confidence going forward, but it was another thing was like, we got to see it happen. We have to can we actually beat the Rams? Can we beat them in the primetime moment? Can Sam Darnold have this redemption. And once they beat them, they outlasted the aerial assault for Matt Stafford. They outlasted the offensive output where the Rams put up 581 yards of offense. They torched Mike McDonald's defense. Sam Darnold leads a game-winning drive, game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion. Looks phenomenal from the fourth quarter onwards. That was the moment where it's like, oh, did he just get the monkey off his back? Did he just slay at least one dragon? Because that
was a big part of it. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was a big part of it. You know, you knew the defense was that good, but it was mostly seeing, can Sam Darnold get us there?
Yeah, because Sam Darnold, again, it's been me and Colin Cowherd, or Colin Cowherd and I have been the only ones who've been banging the drum that Sam Darnold is better than what we saw in New York. But had the Seahawks lost that game, and had it ended up being the 30-14 loss, Sam throws 2 ugly interceptions, and then it becomes, this is the ceiling. This is it. Like, you might win a playoff game or two, maybe, but the Rams are just that hurdle you can't get past. That's the roadblock. And once you beat the Rams, and it's like, no, this isn't just a theory. This isn't just a Madden simulation. This is proof positive. Sam can beat the Rams. They can outgun Sean McVay and the Rams. Oh, the number one. Now it's no longer theoretical. The number one seed, we're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
We went out. We have the number one seed, and you get the number one seed historically. Seahawks have been to the Super Bowl all 4 times they've gotten the number one seed in franchise history.
It's not bad.
No, I mean, there might be some Pope magic somewhere along the way, but every time there's been a Pope elected, the Seahawks have been in the Super Bowl.
And we're gonna bust out the Punxsutawney Phil thing. I saw that yesterday. The last 4 times that he's predicted the 6 more weeks, and the Patriots have been in the Super Bowl, they've won. So we're gonna end the white uniforms, Kole. We're gonna talk white uniforms, of course.
So I saw somebody tweet out the Patriots are wearing all white to make Sam think he's playing against ghosts again.
Look, if it works, man. If it works, winning at all costs. Remember, if it works. Looking at this Seahawks defense, and it's crazy that we've gotten in this far and not talked about the Seahawks defense. I did want it to be different from literally every other discussion that's happened about this team. But almost any way you slice it, this is the best defense in football. And if you're going to slice it a different way, you can argue for Denver, you can argue for Houston. The Patriots beat both those teams. Denver obviously pretty ugly with the snow and the way they played in the first half as well. But looking at the Seahawks defense, I'll keep it simple. Why is it so hard to play against them? What does Mike McDonald have in this scheme that is almost impossible to score on?
This is just going back to football basics here. What is the best way to make your defense elite? You get pressure with the front 4 without blitzing. You get pressure with those 4 guys. I mean, Tom Brady will speak to that twice against the Giants. The Giants didn't have to blitz them. Justin Tuck and Michael Strahan, they kept getting home, no problem. So the fact that everyone talks about comparisons to the Legion of Boom, and I don't think there's a ton of just 1-for-1 comps. The only one would be the defensive line. And instead of having just a Cliff Averill and a Michael Bennett, it's kind of like all 4 guys are Michael Bennett in his prime. And they have just become an absolute terror. DeMarcus Lawrence has revived his career. He somehow found the fountain of youth leaving Dallas. Leonard Williams, one of the best, if not the best, at his position in football. Byron Murphy, one of the most underrated players in the league. Chenna Nwosu, same thing. So that really makes this difficult. The other one was, everyone always talked about Mike McDonald's defense in Baltimore and how Kyle Hamilton, in that unique wild card kind of safety position, just all over the field, that was the ultimate chess piece. Everyone kept talking, oh, Mike McDonald just needs to find his guy. Well, and he did it in his second draft with Nicky Manwari. They trade DK Metcalf. They use that draft pick to move up and draft the guy. And then, that seems to be the key to unlock this defense. And quite frankly, Nicky Manwari, arguably, other than Sam Darnold, was the best player on the field in the NFC Championship game. The Rams were killing it on offense, as they usually do. They're just a tremendous matchup problem with Sean McVay and Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Nicky Manwari was everywhere. And as a Seahawks fan, it is bizarre seeing number 3 on the field in that capacity, the 3 jersey number. It's a little weird and still having a hard time getting used to. But yeah, that's where I think the Seahawks defense has just become just a nightmare to score on.
And you kind of led me into my next question a little bit because, the Rams did move the ball quite a bit in that game. Obviously, some Rams mistakes kind of opened the floodgates, so to speak. So what were they doing that was successful against the Seahawks defense?
Matthew Stafford is just the MVP. And I say that with all respect to Drake May, who I think certainly has a case to be the MVP, if not outright win it. Stafford is just unbelievable. And what really is so frustrating is they get the ball out so quickly. They don't face a ton of 3rd and 12s. They don't face a lot of 2nd and 10s. It's a lot of 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1s. So they can get the ball out just lightning quick. Seahawks cannot they've sacked Matt Stafford twice in 3 years.
Is that going to work?
They can't get to him. And once you can't get to him, of course, having the second best receiver in football, Puka Nacua. I wouldn't even say argument. I won't give him that much credit. Having Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, those are two unbelievable weapons. And they have the ultimate chess master behind them on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone always says Mike Macdonald is the Sean McVay of defense. Well, Sean McVay is still Sean McVay. And that is the best offensive coach in football these days. It's just a unique situation where he has had a tremendous amount of success historically against the Seahawks and knows exactly how to attack this team.
I want to spare the obvious because I think we know where the Seahawks' big strengths are in this game. So what I'm really interested in, especially from my perspective, Kole, is where are the Seahawks most vulnerable?
Most vulnerable, certainly. I mean, they've played a lot better down the stretch, and they're certainly playing the best I think I've seen from a Seahawks offensive line in a decade plus. The interior of the offensive line is still the biggest question mark. I mean, Anthony Bradford, again, he's been playing well. You haven't heard his name in 6-7 weeks. That's still the biggest liability, I think. If he plays up to his potential, the dude is just pancaking everybody. Unfortunately, there's a lot of games where he shows up and it's just 60 minutes of shenanigans, where I've seen games where he's had an opportunity to block 3 people and he's chosen to block none. It's certainly the interior offensive line. Jalen Sundell is fine as a center. He's again been playing well. He's not Jeff Saturday. Now, that being said, on the other side, the left side of the guard, Gray Zabel, incredible. Proven to be worth every bit of the number 18 overall pick. That guy is going to be a staple in this offensive line for years to come. So I guess weakness certainly would be interior offensive line, and the ground game is very inconsistent. I mean, it's been rolling as of late. Kenneth Walker has been proven to be an absolute stud, but the lack of Zach Charbonnet, I think, is more impactful than I think people realize.
Mm-hmm. Any chance we see both these teams over 24 points?
Yeah, I certainly think there is.
Okay, all right.
I think there's a possibility.
All right.
I mean, I think it would take just a tremendous offense. It would take Drake May not reverting, but getting back to the MVP caliber form we've seen. I mean, certainly it's going to help that Super Bowl 60 is not going to be played in a snow globe.
It's good.
It certainly
just
helps.
Like the last couple of weeks. I mean, oof. I'll throw them out, I guess. Yeah.
Which, I guess that's, coming from the Seahawks perspective, everyone's talking about, we keep hearing over here, the Patriots they've won despite facing all these great defenses, and credit where credit's due. Denver, that's a real defense. Mm-hmm. Houston, that's a real defense. Chargers, that's a real defense. But it's not like the Patriots offense, and Drake May in particular, have been playing spectacular. Like, I think there is a vulnerability there if they keep playing like that. Now, I think 2 weeks of preparation, Josh McDaniels, he's been to the Super Bowl, obviously. He knows how to be an offensive coordinator for New England. He knows exactly what he's doing. So I suspect it's going to look a lot better than, the Denver game. Yeah, I mean, you see the Madden prediction today? It was 23-20 with, of course, the goal line touchdown run from Kenneth Walker.
Oh, really?
Righting the wrongs of so many years ago.
Wouldn't that be something, man? Wouldn't that be like a 2-yard rushing touchdown to win the thing. 23-20 sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was saying on the radio the other day 20-17. So something like that definitely feels more apt than a 31-28 even kind of game.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that. This isn't. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I think these defenses are too well coached, too stout. There's too much talent on both sides of the ball. These defensive lines are great, and I mean, I'm obviously picking Seahawks in a narrow one, but again, I'm under no circumstances am I thinking that this is going to look anything like Super Bowl 48 or last year's Super Bowl or anything resembling a 2-score game.
Kole, you've been great with your time here. You've been so generous with it. I do have to ask, though, we have got people, we're trying to learn more about the Seahawks. You guys are 3 hours behind us. Okay. It's tough to catch up with every Seahawks game. So
we're in the Pacific Northwest. People still think we're living like Lewis and Clark.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you have running water. I think that's great.
Electricity is wonderful.
Heard a bunch of rumors. But if people want to learn more, Patriots fans want to learn more about the Seahawks team leading up to the big game, how can people get great coverage about the Seahawks team?
You know what, man? That's a wonderful question, and I have a great answer for you. Check out my website, Seahawks Wire. It's part of USA Today Sports' NFL Wires network. Anytime you see anything like Pats Wire, Niners Wire, Rams Wire, Cowboys Wire, Seahawks Wire, that's part of the same exact network. Check that out. We have daily content. You can also check out my podcast, Emerald City Radio. It's on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. Check us out. Love to have you.
Let's go. The Battle of Fraser Crane, Part 2.
Yes.
Duncan versus Starbucks, Part 2.
Hey,
I will see this week.
I will say this because I love the Retro Pats logo hat you're wearing. What a rotten shame the NFL has such strict rules that both teams can't be rocking their throwbacks in this Super Bowl. That would be just unbelievable.
Why is that even a rule? Why is that a rule? Who does that hurt?
I get that maybe there's it's probably some dumb marketing reason, like, oh, we've got to sell the jerseys of the standard uniform, but what would you rather see? I mean, the all navy, the all white, it's going to look fine, but the Patriots all red and white versus the Seahawks silver and royal blue. I mean, that's whatever I play in Madden. I just make that the uniform combination.
Impeccable. I'm not someone who likes to go backwards in terms of fashion, like uniforms, but if both teams went back to those sets full time, no complaints to me.
Just a rare opportunity. Oh, these are actually really good. Some throwbacks deserve to stay in the past, not these.
Yeah, these two kick ass. Anyway, Kole Musgrove, appreciate the time, my man. Thank you so much for joining us, giving us that Seahawks perspective. We will see you down the road at some point. I'm guessing they'll play again at some point. Thank you. Shout out to Kole. Thank you to you guys. Let me know what you think about this matchup, what you think about the Seahawks in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me keep my job, okay? And it helps you get the great coverage that we give to you every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, and it's right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. So thank you to Zach Burke for keeping us on the air. Thank you to Kole Musgrove for giving us a great perspective on the Seahawks. And guys, we will see you tomorrow on another edition of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.